Hey everyone, this is Josh, starterraingutterbusiness.com. Today we're going to show you how to reseal an existing corner and an end cap. Try to get your guys' old rain gutters fixed up and working correctly. So chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably have a corner that kind of looks like this. We just cut this scrap gutter out of our scrap pile. We replaced them, but it is possible to get these resealed and to where they don't leak. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. This particular corner has just some old glue in it, a lot of cracks. Looks like it's kind of been flexed around, so it's all dirty. So step one is making sure it's really clean, and we need to get this new sealant to bond to the metal and not the old sealant. So step one is to clean that out with a wire brush, and you got to get all of the edges all cleaned out on both sides of the glue and the glue. Get all the gunk out of there. You need to make sure to do this when it's dry. If there's a little bit of moisture in there, sometimes I'll use a torch to clean it out or dry up that moisture, and it helps that glue stick. Old gutters are almost impossible to seal when everything's wet, so that's an important tip. Make sure it's dry. So like I said, it's really important to get all the metal around your existing sealant all clean all the way down to the base metal, and make sure there's no dust or debris or water in that area. And what I try to do when you reseal these is, this is an ideal example. I try to cover all the existing sealant and rebond this new sealant to the base metal. And that gives you a really good, tight, new seal that'll last for 10 to 20 years, depending on your climate. So the next important step is a quality sealant. We have had really good luck with Reseal 2320 sealant. We use the aluminum gray color. This comes in clear too, which works fine. But a lot of people try to use Flex Seal in their gutters because they see it on the commercials, and the sun just eats that stuff away. And it also creates a bad habit of not cleaning out your material before you spray it in there. So that is a common problem we run into a lot, is trying to scrape out Flex Seal in the rain gutter. So we use Reseal. This is a little tougher to get at hardware stores, so what I would recommend probably is Through the Roof. It's a clear roofing sealant that is very similar to this, and it works really well, and it's available at most hardware stores. Alright, so next tip, don't be shy with this stuff. Put plenty in. On a new corner, on a new gutter system installation, I usually put on about 1/3 of a tube of sealant in one seam. On an existing gutter, since we have to cover all that old sealant, probably use closer to 1/2 to 2/3, depending on how ugly it is. So I cut usually a pretty good sized piece off the tip. So I usually have about a 1/2 inch hole. That gives you plenty of glue flow, so you're not trying to skimp here. And one thing to keep in mind with sealant is it does shrink. So put a little extra on, and that gives that sealant a little bit of room to shrink and contract a little bit. Okay, so as you're going here, just go ahead and, I know this is a little harder when this gutter is installed, but go ahead and press these outer edges of the glue down to your base metal, and that bonds that glue to your clean metal that you just cleaned off. The most prone spot for leaking on corners is this area, especially in K-style, because it has this sharp bend, and then also back here. So I always make sure and press into that bend really well, and it helps stop that problem from coming up. There it is, all sealed up. This, like I said, this should last 10 to 20 years, depending on how much sunlight it gets, and sunlight is probably the main enemy of this glue, any type of sealant. That is 100% sealed, and I would guarantee that one. So the next common spot besides corners to leak is end caps. They're a little less prone to leaking because they're right on the end of the gutter and they don't have any load as far as the gutter twisting them or cracking that sealant. But they do wear out at some point, so, and the sun kind of bakes them out. So I just wanted to show you real quick how to do one of those also. This is a pretty standard one. You can tell the sealant is just kind of dried up and cracked, and it's kind of starting to separate from the metal right there. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to clean all the way around that old sealant on the end cap side, and then also clean all the way around the sealant on the gutter side, and we're going to get that glue to bond to both the gutter and the end cap, bridging the old sealant. So we'll cover all that up. Okay, so there's this is kind of what it looks like, all cleaned out, just like the corner. I just scrubbed on as good as I could. Another thing to mention is this is what I use a lot. Stainless steel, little toothbrush style wire brush. Another thing that we use quite a bit is just a wire brush on a drill. So if you can get in there with a wire brush on a drill, that works really well. Also, the only thing a wire brush on a drill doesn't get very well sometimes is in these corners that are one of the most important spots. So a lot of times you have to follow up with the wire brush anyways. So there we are, all sealed, end cap, done deal. I got all the old sealant covered, bonded that new sealant to both base metals, the end cap and the gutter, and that should be sealed up really well. So just wanted to show you guys how to get this done the right way, because I see it done a lot of times the wrong way. So good luck out there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you checking our video out. Just ask you to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and we'll see you on the next one.